April is my birthday month, which means we need to get out of the reading slump. This is getting ridiculous. So I have a few options of possible reading challenges I could do in attempt to get out of it, and you get to vote in the comment section. Try to convince me of which ones you think will help. We'll see. I have a few things that I'm pretty sure I do want to do though. As always, I will be doing my Read It or Unhaul It challenge, which I will be reading books from the giant jar, which I'm going to be honest is the reason I am in the reading slump, because 2 months in a row, which was back to back, I did a very intense decluttering version. I got through, I think, 10 different books that I either read or got rid of in the mostly YA books shelves that I have. So it was very cathartic. However, like I said, a little bit in a reading slump sense, but it's okay. I have some good ideas, but this is definitely the heads up. I'm not doing that again, at least for a couple more months, because that was too much for me, clearly. So some of my big plans for the month will have to be with series, finishing books that I'm currently in the middle of, but I also want to try more books, either by authors that are really, really popular or authors I've liked before. So we're gonna try and balance things out. Claudia, let me get her in because, oh my gosh. Of course, Chunky ran inside too because he can't be alone. 5 seconds, right? Ugh. He's the neediest of the needies. So, I made you vote on Patreon, as always, for our monthly book club pick, and it was actually pretty unanimous this time, and you guys wanted to read Mort by Terry Pratchett. I have never read anything from the Discworld series. To be honest, I'm scared, okay? Like, look at this. There are literal diagrams online. Where to start, where not to start. I am feeling very overwhelmed. I do have a couple of them. Luckily, you can find them often at used bookstores, which is what I usually do. And this is one of the ways you can start. I have mentioned before that I do enjoy following series where one of the characters, or just books in general, not series, where you're following death as a character, and I mean that's literally the title of the book, so I'm assuming that's going to be the case. So I will be trying this one. They're all about this size, so they're not super scary. It's like 300 pages, and my only worry is that because they're so popular, sometimes you feel the pressure to love them too, and the humor might be hit or miss depending on, you know, your taste and everything, because I was told that The Hitchhiker's to Galaxy was supposed to also be really funny, and I thought it was just okay, so I'm a little worried. Okay, I'm putting it out there. It's super popular. I'm hoping I will love it, and I have a few options. So there's the Death series, and there's the one about the witches. I think the first book might be like the second book. So this is Equal Right, and I have the second book in the Witches series, I think. This is the Weird Sister? Either way, I will have the actual diagram whenever I do the vlog, and we'll figure it out. I'm gonna try a couple, and hopefully one of them will work for me. This is, you know, this is the whole plan. So, Death, I think, yeah, this is the 4th book, but again, you can start there too. Listen, just trying to explain that I want to read this, I feel overwhelmed, but they're so popular and I'm hoping they're going to work for me. There you go. And they've been on my shelf for like years at this point. I just need to make a decision, and if I don't like them, it's not the end of the world. I will just unhaul them and bring them to like a small little library, and someone's going to be super happy to find them, I'm sure. So that's the first step. Claudia, what are you doing? I can't be the only one that uses these IKEA bag for laundry, and the cats absolutely love them. Honestly, me too, girl. So, I did want to finish some books that I'm currently reading. The first one, it's not even funny anymore, okay? Twice I put it down because I had to do a different challenge. And now, that poor book, I'm at chapter 35, page almost 500, and there's like a little over 700 pages. So I have 200 pages left in this book. This is the second book in an adult fantasy series that I really enjoyed. Book 1 I gave 5 stars to. So like clearly I'm enjoying it, but when you're in a reading slump, thick fantasy might not be the way to go. Or, I mean, but there's 200 pages left, Emily. Come on. So it would be nice. It would be nice. I'm just going to say that, Emily. No pressure, but it would be nice if you finished that one. It has such classic fantasy tropes too. Evil trying to, you know, pass through the wall, the magical wall in the north, and like people trying to save the world. And I'm enjoying it. It's just, life has been rough. life has been rough. The other thick fantasy book I'm currently in the middle of is The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. This book is coming out, I want to say 1st of May, something like that. I'll put it on the screen, but it's not even released yet. I have the ARC, the advanced reader copy, and I was really curious to try more of his books because I read, I think it's the first trilogy by him, and I enjoyed it, mostly for Glokta, not gonna lie. I feel like a character that is now a villain but used to be like a hero is just so interesting. He's very grumpy and completely understandably so. Anyway, I love him. So I wanted to see if it was just that one character I liked, or maybe I could like more by him, and why not try a book that is not even out yet. So I'm really glad I have that. And like I said, I'm in the middle of it because every month this year so far, I've dedicated a whole vlog reading either new releases or books that are about to be released. For some reason this year, so many books are coming out from authors I've tried and liked before. So we're gonna just keep that on a roll. So might as well actually. What's the newest book by Abby? Is it Say You'll Remember Me? It's a romance book coming out April 1st, okay? I used to say I wasn't really into romance. Claudia just opened the wardrobe. She's a little devil, okay? Because I have my fancy, really nice yoga mat in there. The second that she had access to it, she obviously used her claw on it. And every time I hide it in the closet, she goes in the closet to continue. So she might be cute, but she's evil. Anyway, so there is this one romance book coming out. I want to try it because at this point I've read like 5 of her books and I'm just going to continue. And now for the other books that I will be reading in this specific vlog, I think I'm probably going to try to prioritize the ones that the book is coming out the soonest, just so I can keep up with them. But I have options. So first off, I have the newest Victoria Schwab's book because yeah, I'm gonna read that one. Okay, I don't care at this point. I think it's only coming out in like June, July, but I don't want to wait any longer. It's too difficult, and it is sapphic vampire romance. I think you're following 3 women, different centuries, and yeah, I want to know because I feel like her writing keeps improving, and I just want to read it. It's been on my Kindle for a few months now, and it's unacceptable, okay? That needs to happen. I really have been enjoying her writing. I feel like The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue was just beautiful. Definitely her best book so far, in my opinion. So that's one option, and it will be chosen. I could also finish The Devils that I was mentioning because again, it is technically an arc. And I have School of Shards, which I need to double check when that one is coming out. And maybe I'll just have more time to read. Maybe I'll prioritize the arcs over the new releases. Again, we'll see. I'm going to try to really be like go with the flow this month because the priority is to just not be in a reading slump. And if life can stop hitting me in the face with a shovel, that would be great, okay? Especially if my basement could stop flooding, that would be fantastic for my nerves. So yes, School of Shards is the last book in this trilogy. Magical School, Dark Academia, just one of the weirdest book series I've ever read. The first book, Vita Nostra, might be something you have heard of, and yeah, I just love it. Main character reluctantly is going to this magical school under threat of like of her whole family because that's how it works apparently, and I'm just loving it, even though I'm not sure I understand half of what's going on. And you know what, you just have to accept it with that series. So that 3rd book is coming out in June, so I feel like once again it's approaching really quickly. So yes please. I also need to read something else, and I have options, and this is where you get to vote. Okay, first option is the one that I'm like, realistically, I probably should be avoiding doing that to myself because I'm already in the middle of 2 thick fantasy series, and I've been saying that with the reading slump, not ideal. But I could just ignore all logic and start more or continue more fantasy series because why not? They're so satisfying to finish, and these 2, I really, really enjoyed book 1, and I just don't want to wait like 5 years before continuing because that's something I do all the time and shouldn't. So this is The Fires of Vengeance. I was really enjoying book 1. I think people were kind of so-so about book 1, but absolutely loved it. Basically, it started with the main character not wanting to be participating to the war, but then really quickly something happens and it becomes a revenge story, which I'm all for that. The magic system was really interesting. The main character is trying to learn really quickly how to become a better fighter and use the magic system, which I don't know how much I can say without spoiling it. Best way to describe it, but like think monsters. And anyway, I was really enjoying it, and I'm curious to see where it's gonna go. It is going to be a 4-book series, and I believe the 3rd one is coming out this year. It's been pushed back so many times that's kind of why I didn't want to rush, because I don't like waiting. I would rather wait knowing that the other one is already out. That's apparently logical in my head. So book 2, again, would be nice. They're all thick though. This one is 500 pages. And then the other one, this one was more like Indian inspired, which I feel like I'm tired of reading the same thing over and over again. And I feel like these two are very different. So this is the Oleander's Sword. This one almost feels like you're following a cult, the magic system. There's these people that were conquered by this evil emperor who is sending his sister, actually he wants his sister to be burned alive because that makes sense. And when she says no, he sends her away to be kept by the people that used to have this cult. This magical skull. It feels like I'm trying to describe this as badly as possible, but that's kind of what remained in my mind after reading this. There's a little bit of a sapphic romance. Basically, every female character is morally gray, and I love them. That's why I want to continue. So the magic system is just really weird. Wasn't explained that well. That's why I'm running with the whole idea of cults. So if you've read this book, don't judge me. I'm trying here. Now, if I'm, eventually realizing this is not a good idea, I'm like, you shouldn't be continuing more series when you're in the middle of so many. I could instead read more by authors I've enjoyed before. I mentioned that I just recently bought this one. This is Tall Oaks by Chris, is it Whitaker? Either way. I really love all the colors of the dark. Absolutely love it. I read another book by him, We Begin at the End. Also really enjoy that one. He tends to write these almost character-driven murder mystery in small town, usually surrounding children being kidnapped or something. I like the little town drama happening, but I feel like his writing is beautiful and I wanted to try more by him, and he only has so many books. I think he has 4 books out, so I'm forced to go further and further away, and hopefully I still enjoy his writing. I feel like first book, they come out with, but I have nothing else by him, so I have to read this one. So Tall Oaks, hopefully. Small towns hide the darkest secrets. So hopefully this one satisfies the craving until he comes out with something else. He just came out with something, but doesn't matter. So that's an option. And then we have Salvation of a Saint. I feel like I haven't been reading many translation this year for some reason. I have been, like I said, in a slump on and off, but this might be my solution. This is a Japanese translation. I have read 2 of the books by this author. There are investigation, obviously detective. I feel like a lot of the ones I've been reading are just, I don't like the cop talk. I don't like randomly they're kicking dogs and it's just gruesome for the sake of it, and I just really don't vibe with it. But so far I haven't had really too many issues with him, so I'm curious to read more. So a man that was about to leave his wife is poisoned through his coffee, so obviously the wife is a suspect, but he doesn't think she did it, so we'll see. And then my last option that I wanted to try is to read really popular books that I have yet to try. So I did have this one, A Tale of Two Cities. I haven't read any classics this year, and I feel like I used to read them very regularly, so it's a bit strange. And I've been meaning to read some Charles Dickens, so this could be it. But the second I said I wanted to read this, everyone that hated this book came out to tell me that they hated this book, which now I'm a little worried, but my library has the audiobook available at all times, so I might actually try to flip-flop. I feel like when I'm intimidated by a book, at least starting it as an audiobook can help to just get over that fear, plus it's gonna have an accent, so might as well. And the other one is The Alchemist, which again, everyone came out to tell me that I will absolutely hate this, and honestly, you're probably right about that one. I'm really hoping you're wrong about the classic, but this one I understand. It's not super long. It's less than 200 pages, and I've mentioned before I'm not into woo-woo kind of writing. Apparently it's going to be like that. I believe you. I'm tired of hearing people talk about this book without having tried it. Okay, I need to know. And maybe everyone is wrong and I will love it. Maybe. Worst case, I'll just complain. Now, audiobooks, I have been struggling to use my library this year because every book I've been putting on my waiting list will not be available for months. And I feel like I'm left with nothing to actually listen to, which is frustrating. But some of the books that I should be able to get to in April, I have to scroll oh my gosh. Okay. So the first one that I'm seeing that I'm intrigued is going to be available in 4 weeks, and it is On Tyranny, which, people can always skip their turn, so I might have it tomorrow, right? This is a nonfiction. Well, technically the one I have is the extended version. They had one that was 4 hours. This one is 10. So I'm curious. It's going to be exactly what you think. Then we have in 6 weeks, this is what I mean, I have Entangled Life, which I've been wanting to read more nonfiction, and again, I feel like I started pretty strong the year and I kind of just afterwards, but this one is about how fungi makes our worlds, changes our mind, and shape our futures. Yes, I feel like it's going to be one of those beginner friendly kind of fun book, depending on how it goes with the author, but I've heard really good things about it. So it's 10 hours, and like I said, 6 weeks from now. Sci-fi. I have not been reading sci-fi in even last year actually. I didn't read many, and I don't really feel the need right now, which is strange because it used to be one of my main genre, but just not enough brain cells going on at the time. But Orbital is one of the ones that came out last year. I feel like in the Goodreads Choice Award, I could see many of the ones that came out last year, and they all had really pretty covers, but really bad reviews, and I didn't know what to pick from it. But this one sounded appealing because you're following astronauts in space. It's like the last trip for this program before it's dismantled, and you're just following these astronauts as they're doing their job. I think it's going to be like very slice of life, very, very slow paced, so I'm not expecting something too difficult. But again, audiobooks, I don't like to read really hard sci-fi because it's hard to follow in my opinion. So this one, I believe, is 5 hours. Yeah, 5 hours. So I thought audiobook might be the way to go, but yeah, 7 weeks. Maybe not. Next one is also 7 weeks, is Lights Out, viral TikTok kind of book. So I'm going into it with low expectations, but I believe I have heard that it's the same narrator that narrates one of my favorite characters in a romance book, which was in Part of Your World. And I refuse to look it up because I don't want to see what it looks like. I feel like it's gonna ruin it for me, and I feel like I really associate his voice with that other character, so I'm hoping that it's gonna work for me. If you know, tell me, but just don't tell me what it looks like. I don't want to know. Otherwise, I do have The P Word. This is another nonfiction on the female of the species, which I thought that could be a fun audiobook, a fun nonfiction book to listen to. Again, I'm trying to read more nonfiction, and I really like these kind of beginner-friendly stories, which, oh my god, Chunk, are you serious? He's attacking my glasses. He's such a little a-hole. I have bite marks all over these glasses. I literally have tape, okay? to hold one of the little things because of him. He broke them, and I'm waiting to see my optometrist before buying new glasses just in case I need a new prescription. But yeah, he's on the shelf right now being a little a-hole. Anyway. Last year I was doing a challenge in December, reading a lot of the best books, you know, on a list of the best books that came out in 2024, and I found like 4 favorites in that video. It was one after the other, but I didn't have time to get around to I Cheerfully Refuse, so it's been on my TBR ever since, and again, my library has the audiobook, so I'm currently waiting for it. I think this is considered literary fiction? Literary? I can't say that, okay? It's one of those books that even if you read a summary, you still have no idea what's going on. So I will just go into it blind and hopefully everything ends up okay. Okay, one last one because we're at 10 weeks now, and like, but maybe everyone's gonna, you know, skip it and I'll have it. And it is Moon of the Turning Leaves. I added this book to my TBR months ago at this point, and again, I'm still at 10 weeks. But it's the second book in a post-apocalyptic story. I read book 1 last year, really enjoyed it. My only complaint was that it was too short, which is like not a big complaint, but it's post-apocalyptic, or at that point was like apocalyptic, and you're following native people, which I thought, why did I not read any story like that before? So we're continuing in this one. Hopefully it's good. It's longer, so I've heard actually good things. So I'll try that one if I'm able to. Yeah, everything else is like months away. I don't know why I've done that to myself, but I feel like I can put like 30 books on my waiting list, so I'm usually fine, but not this year. I feel like talking about all the books that I'm hoping to read this month kind of showed why I don't know what to read. I feel like my taste is all over the place. I'm in the middle of so many books. I have too many challenges I want to do. I really need to like focus. So definitely let me know in the comment sections if you think I should continue series, even though so many think fantasy series is scary. If I should read really popular books in the hope that I will agree with the hype, or if I should read more by authors I've enjoyed before. I've done that a couple times, and I feel like it can be hit and miss because if you love them too, then it's like great. I feel like I will read everything by these authors, and at the times you're like, ugh, it turns out it was just like a one-hit wonder for me. So I don't know, you tell me, because clearly can't make a decisions, but I really want April to be a good reading month. Also, definitely let me know which books you are planning on reading in April. I might, you know, maybe I could use the inspiration, and I'll put more videos on the screen, including one I did about the perfect book club, pick the books you could buddy read. Honestly, if I hadn't read these, any of them could help me get out of reading slump. They're so readable. Also, I'll put one of my reading vlogs, that way you can see everything that's been going on and why I'm struggling right now, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.